Check, check, test, test. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports Live. Apologies for the time to get us started. Had some issues with the camera. Now you're probably wondering why I've got a tie on and a shirt. It's slightly related. We'll talk about that afterwards. First and foremost, there's some breaking news coming out of Newcastle Football Club. Sad news, actually. Cheick Tiote, the footballer, has died. The ex-Newcastle. Oh, so we know the sound works. Sorry, apologies for that. So anyway, yes, the death of Cheick Tiote, the Newcastle star, died age 30, hours after saying he said he was feeling good. Such a young man to have passed away. He was actually collapsed during training in China. Reports first broke out of China this afternoon with a former Newcastle star playing for Chinese second-tier side Beijing Enterprise that had been taken ill after training. It appears he was subsequently rushed to hospital where he was pronounced dead. His former club, Newcastle, had released a short statement that reads, "We're devastated to hear of the tragic passing of former Newcastle United midfielder Cheick Tiote in China today." And a spokesperson for the player, Emmanuel Palladino, said, "It was with deep sadness that I can confirm that my client, Cheick Tiote, sadly passed away earlier today after collapsing in training with his club, Beijing Enterprise. We cannot say any more at the moment, and we request that his family's privacy be respected at this difficult time. We ask for all your prayers." Newcastle manager Rafa Benitez said, "It is with great sadness that I have this afternoon learned of Cheick's death. In all the time I've known him, he was a true professional, dedicated, and above all, a great man. Our heart goes out to his family and friends. Such a sad time." Club captain Jamal Lachelle said, "There are not words to express how saddened I am to hear the news that Cheick has died this afternoon. I've spoken to the team and none of us believe it. My thoughts are with his family at this time. R.I.P. Cheick." Anderlecht, who first signed Tiote, from Ivory side FB Bibo, wrote, "Another young man taken away too soon. R.I.P. Cheick. Our thoughts are with his family." His former club, TC20, posted a statement that reads, what terrible news. Cheick Tiote is today suddenly died. We wish family and survivors much strength. Tiote won the Dutch League with FC20 in 2010. FC20 legend Jan van Halst said, "We're shocked and deep and saddened to hear his sudden death. Cheick was a great guy and a great professional. He was introverted and could enjoy silence of things. As a player, Cheick was hard but fair and above all very strong. So we remember him at FC20. We wish his fans, friends, family, friends and survivors much strength to process his loss." So following his death, a tragic WhatsApp chat emerged where Tiote described himself as all good. Tiote appeared in high spirits as he swapped messages with his friend Yusuf Ubaka to me. In it, he inquired about his pal's health, with the pair laughed together about Tiote's demand for some free watches. Hours later, it is announced that Beijing Enterprise midfielder had died after he collapsed in training. The conversation was posted on Twitter by Tumti, who is a verified user. Tumti started the conversation saying to Tiote, who is saved on his phone as Cheick T China. Tiote responds saying he is a good brother before asking about after his friend. Toomey then joked, and then he needed to get some watches off him, which Tiote responded, "You are the boss. You need to give. You need to give for free." Tiote made his professional debut in Anderlecht in 2005 before moving to FC20 3 years later. Defensive midfielder then secured a 3.5 million switch to Newcastle, who made it Magpies for 7 years, his sole Premier League goal coming in the 4-4 draw against Arsenal in 2011. In 2015, Tiote helped Ivory Coast win the African Cup of Nations, having made his international debut in 2009. Tiote made just 22 appearances for Newcastle Premier League relegation campaign in 2015-2016. He remained on the periphery of manager Benitez's plans at the start of last season and played just 3 times before heading to China. His last game for the team was in the 3-1 win over Birmingham in January. Ex-Newcastle frontman Peter Lovekrans told Sky Sports, "I'm still in shock. So sad to hear what happened to Cheick. I was one of his biggest admirers at the club. He was a fantastic player in the squad. He was a player who would give you 110% on the pitch and in training. He was one of the players, if you didn't pull your foot away in tackles, you would get hurt because he would never hold back. He was always the one who was smiling, joking as well in training. One of the fittest guys I've met. He was just relentless that way in training. He was always at the highest level of fitness. It's just mind-boggling to hear what happened, especially with a guy who was so fitness orientated, so sharp in training and in games. This that it could happen to him is a bit of a shock." Tiote's former teammate at Newcastle, Demba Ba, tweeted, "May Allah give you Jannah, brother Tiote." He included 6 crying emojis in post. One Newcastle legend, Steve Harper, who played alongside Tiote, tweeted, "Gutted to hear the awful news about my former teammate Cheick Tiote today. Thoughts with his friends and family." It just goes on, the amount of people that are just giving tributes to a great man. It's just amazing, just stunning how a guy can just, 1 minute be playing, training, and the next minute be dead in just less than a few hours. It was just unbelievable, just stunning news, shocking news. So coming out of Newcastle, it's just really hard to kind of comprehend it all. So there. Moving on. Rest in peace, Cheick. Moving on. The big news in boxing is that Golovkin versus Canelo has been signed, sealed, and delivered. It's official now. Let me just get the information because I got it earlier on. It come through to me, and I'm just going to confirm it now. Let me get here. It is. It's some information that come through regarding the fight. Let me just get it up. Oh, I had it, and now it's gone now. But anyway, the fight is on September the 17th, I believe. September 16th. Yes. The September 16th fight between undefeated 3-belt middleweight champion Gennady Golovkin, 37-0, 33 knockouts, and Canelo Alvarez, Mexico's most popular fighter, 49 fights, 1 defeat, 1 draw, 34 by knockouts, and a former 2-division champion, will take place at the T-Mobile Arena in Vegas on September the 16th. So there you go. It's on. The fight is on. Bar any injury, the fight's on. So that's some interesting news as well that's come through. So Golovkin, Canelo is on. A lot of people didn't think the fight would be made. So a lot of people said the fight wouldn't happen. Well, it's there. It's been announced. So looking forward to seeing that fight. Just before I finish here, looks like Klitschko Joshua is going to rematch is going to happen. According to Eddie Hearn, the fight's going to happen. Tom McCarthy versus Mike Perez, the fight on June 10th is off. Joshua Bootsy has signed a professional deal and he's decided to go with Matchroom. So there you go. Joseph Parker has decided to stay with Higgins, and he's eyeing Fury for September. Whatever news. Tony Bellew saying he'll be back in November, December. He's saying he'd prefer to fight Parker. Let's see what else on news that you should know about. Spence, Errol Spence, the new IBF champion, will make his next fight, could be air on Fox from Dallas in September. So good to see the champion, the new champion, making his first defense in Dallas. De La Hoya and Dana White are getting into it. And Canelo saying, when the final bell rings, everyone will know it's my era. So that's it. Just a little roundup of boxing there, bit of football as well. Hugh Fury is having a tune-up on the Billy Joe Saunders card. Indeed, we're looking forward to see. He needs a tune-up if he's going to be fighting in September. It'd be nice to see a decent tune-up with Hughie Fury fighting guy, maybe the same size as Joseph Parker, similar sort of style. It would be nice to see. I am looking forward to seeing that as well. Right, finally, over on our gaming channel, I did make a statement. I think I made a statement back when I was talking about Arsenal Football Club. I talked about what I think I could do as Arsenal manager. Of course, I can't manage Arsenal football team in real life. So what I did is did it in the gaming, did it in a game called Football Manager 2017. And with some input from DJ Slick, and who is a regular, a loyalist, we've done 11-hour streams, 13-hour streams. Mr. P. O'Neill, who also is full-time O'Neill, used to be part-time, full-time O'Neill's there. Michael C. also been in the room as well. Castigo. So we want to thank those people for being in the room. We did win the Premiership in the end in our first season, 13-point lead in the end of the Premiership. I'm about to go and do a press conference for those in the BWTM gaming room. Do a little press conference to talk about that, the Football Manager experience, and all those things. So it's all good. It's a bit of fun, bit of banter, bit of fun. I said that if I did win the Premiership, that I would have a press conference and do it. And hey, you got to live life, so why not? So if you want to see this press conference, please subscribe to BWTM Gaming. To subscribe to the channel, just look. Well, I don't know if you can look. Yeah, just look below here, and you'll see in our description box. You'll see BWTM Gaming. Just click on the channel, click the link, and the press conference will be starting shortly. A little bit of fun, a little bit of banter, not taking ourselves too seriously. but at the same time, all good, all fun. We know that people around the world are playing Football Manager, and congratulations again to Real Madrid for winning the Champions League. What a great player Cristiano Ronaldo is. Catherine Watkins, 83. I'm in the room just keeping quiet. That's all right. Don't need to keep quiet, Catherine. It's nice to see that you're in the room. I really wish you would have joined us in the gaming room. It's been a lot of fun. Ronaldo is the man, says Benjamin Franklin. Good seeing the room, Benjamin Franklin. So, yes, I was angered at the fact to hear, I said before, that Arsene Wenger had got another 2 years on his contract. And so, therefore, that spurred me into doing Football Manager 2017 and streaming some ridiculous 12 and 13-hour streams, probably the longest streams that are on YouTube. But they're all there. All the games are there. And I'll tell you about my sensational highs and my sensational lows. Whole load of epicness. Yes, well, I'm waffling now. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching this little broadcast, BWTM Sports Live and exclusive. Wenger could get 10-year contract if he says so. Shout out to Jordan Adson as well, who's always in the room. Shout out to Benjamin Franklin. And Catherine, please subscribe to the BWTM Gaming. This will be fun because we're going to be looking at all different types of games. And I will soon be taking on the role. You've got a girl in the room, of course. I soon will be, there's quite a few girls that watch. Will soon be what we'll also be doing. I will be taking on the role of the Dark Knight coming up in the Batman games, literally taking on the role in an adventure game, which will be put on or streaming live through my PS4. I'll be doing that as well. I'll be reviewing all retro games as well. So I know this is a bit of crossing over into the sports channel, but it's relevant because we've just been talking football and I've just won the Premiership with Arsenal Football Club. So yeah, that's it. So please hit the subscribe button. I've got Canelo. I think Canelo is the more versatile fighter. What are the subjects? Subjects come to the end. Just talked about Cheick Tiote's passing in China, the former Newcastle player. Talked about the Golovkin versus Canelo fight. You're a mature lady. Old woman, no, mature. We've talked also about Golovkin Canelo at the T-Mobile Arena on September the 16th. Just that's been announced by. And do you think he can handle the pressure and the power of 3G? Yeah, come on, man. I think he can. I certainly think he can. I think he's got more to his game. Remember, Canelo can fight off the front foot and he can fight off the back foot. A good counter puncher. Can fight off the front foot, can fight off the back foot. Don't look at the Mayweather fight. Mayweather will make a lot of people look silly. But he's grown. You know, Gennady Golovkin, as he's moved up in class, if we notice, he's not. His 2 fights now he's had. He had the Brook fight. He fought a welterweight that moved up to middleweight. Was not a real bona fide middleweight, and he had problems knocking him down, let alone knocking him out. Yes, I know he would have stopped him in the end, but he had problems knocking him out. Then he fought Danny Jacobs, a guy that was considered chinny, and Jacobs went 12 rounds with him. And I would say styles make fights. I think that Canelo brings a little bit more to the table. He can fight on the front foot. He can fight on the back foot. He's strong. He's adaptable. And Gennady Golovkin, once you put him on the back foot, is not effective. Go look at the fights he has been put on the back foot. The fight when Jacobs pushed him onto the back foot, he wasn't as effective. When Brook had him on the back foot, he wasn't effective. If you look at all of Gennady Golovkin's knockouts, majority of guys, he's been on the front foot. When you put these guys on the back foot, I think it's a different matter altogether. So, yeah, people saying 3G for the KO, but you know, if you can't KO Danny Jacobs and you can't knock out Kell Brook, where's all this power talking about? For me, it's difficult for me to, when you talk about boxing, when you talk about boxing, you talk about power punches. When I look at power punch, I look at Jeremy McLennan and I look at Julian Jackson. That's when I talk about power punches. Guys are knocking guys out. I mean, out. I'm not talking about knocking them down and then getting up and then getting stopped by the referee. No, taking out the referee's hands. I'm talking about knocking you out, and world-class fighters knocking you out. And that's what I call I call 3G heavy-handed. I'm not going to call him a one-punch KO artist at the highest level. And I think if he can't knock, if he can't hurt or knock Canelo out, there'll be problems. And I think, remember, Gennady Golovkin's power comes from him moving forward. It's all a science, this game. It's all a science. You have to be able to, Gennady Golovkin's going to have to put the pressure on Canelo. And he can't just walk forward in straight lines, okay? Because he's going to get hit back. And he's a fantastic, I think Canelo's a very good counter puncher. And are you going to tell Abel Sanchez Canelo beats Gennady Golovkin? Or will I have a long conversation to have with Abel, because he said that Joshua was going to get knocked out by Klitschko. He said Spence was too young for what's his name? Spence was too young for Brook. He said that. What else did he say? He said that he'll call me in the morning when they knock out Jacobs. So that's 3 things he's been called on there. We'll have to have words. It's going to be a very interesting conversation when Mr. Sanchez decides to has that conversation. Gennady looks way bigger than Canelo. He may look way bigger than Canelo. That because someone is bigger doesn't mean that they're better. Bigger don't mean better. Better means better. Bigger don't mean better. Canelo was bigger than Floyd Mayweather. Didn't make him better. Valiev was bigger than David Haye. Didn't make him better. Aubrey Harrison was bigger than David Haye. It didn't make him better. For goodness sake, Tony Tucker and all these other guys, Bruno, and all these guys were taller than Mike Tyson. Didn't make them better. So bigger doesn't make you better. Technique, skill, and science. And for me, if you talk about the two fighters, I personally think Canelo is a far more scientific fighter than 3G, in my opinion. When I look at Canelo, he steps back and pulls his head back from punches and then throws counters. I love that stuff that Canelo does. Okay, I'm not sitting you. Belly was bigger than Haye. It made him better. Oh yeah, you're funny there. So I like what Canelo brings to the table. I really do. I like the way he puts his combinations together. He can box on the front foot. He can punch and box on the back foot. He puts his punches together more consistently. I like it. You know, you see more. You see, I've seen Golovkin in the last 2 fights. He's not getting better, Golovkin. He's on the other side of the hill now. You know, he's not on this. He's not on. Golovkin's not going to get any better. You have to understand that. Golovkin's either tailing off or he's on the other side. I had Kovalev over Ward and Jacobs over Gennady Golovkin. How did you score the fights? And is it something that I miss in score fights? Mate, listen, I think boxing's subjective, because I think that there are fights I thought a guy's won. And I thought that the other day when Rosado fought Murray, I thought he clearly beat Murray. I thought that when Martinez fought Warrington, I thought he clearly beat Warrington. You know, the other night, people thought that Carl Froch had Dave Allen up and winning the fight against Leroy Thomas, and Eddie Hearn said Leroy Thomas won the fight by a country mile. So I mean, it's subjective. It's subjective. Ward Kovalev, I thought Kovalev lost the fight because he allowed Ward to get back in the fight. He shouldn't have allowed that. When he knocked Ward down, he should have pressed the action. Kovalev has proven he's not a better boxer than Ward. He may be a heavy-handed guy. He may be a bigger puncher than Ward. He is not a better boxer than Ward. That's why he lost the fight, in my opinion. That's why he lost the fight. You know, he tried to box the superior boxer instead of fight. He should have fought Ward and tried to land heavier punches than possible. Brook up on scorecard by a few rounds. He can be up on 10 scorecards. It don't make a difference. He could be up on 20 scorecards. He could be on your scorecard now winning the fight. bottom line is that in September, the IBF belt is going to be defended by Errol Spence in Texas on Fox. So you can be up on anybody's scorecard. It don't make a difference. Harold Graham was up on the scorecards against Julian Jackson. Do I have to remind you what happened there? Being up on scorecards don't mean anything when it comes to the end of the fight. We've seen that. That's why we've got Kovalev War 2. So, you know, that's where we're at with things. Yeah, that's where we are with things. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. Get ready for some laughs, some fun. We're about to that's how everyone was putting it, not me, by the way. I know Mr. P. O'Neill, Mr. Full-Time O'Neill. Okay, get ready for a bit of banter and a bit of fun. Great work, brother. Benjamin Franklin, thank you so much. I appreciate you. Hit the subscribe button. We're gonna have a bit of laugh, a bit of banter, a bit of fun with my friends over on our gaming channel, and there'll be lots to talk about, absolutely lots to talk about on the Football Manager era that was, is, and whatever else. Should be fun. Thank you all for watching. Appreciated. Again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and share the videos. We love the support. Thank you so much. We're out. Take care.